We're in Japan, baby. I am super excited because we are in one of the best countries when it comes to photography. I've got with me all my lenses, my drones, but mostly I'll be walking around with my trusted travel companion, the Tamron 17-70 F2.8 zoom lens. So follow me along, we'll explore the country together and hopefully get some nice shots. Alrighty, we have arrived in Nara and we're gonna walk around a bit, explore. The main thing to do in Nara is the deer park. So they have these deer in the park and you can feed them crackers. And the unique thing about the Nara deer park is that the deer somehow, through being in Japan and being trained by Japanese people, I suppose, they've learned to bow down as you feed them, which I think is pretty cool. So we're heading over there in a bit, but before that we're just going to explore the area a little before we head into the park. We're in this area here with lots of pagodas. I think it's called the 5-story pagoda. That's the building that I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to think of how I can compose the shot a bit. We'll try and use this little bush as foreground, just to cut out a lot of the noise because it is a very noisy image. I'm going to make sure the sky is exposed. Maybe I'll step onto this actually. Something like this. Cool. I'm going to try and get a detail shot of this roof tile ornament thing. That looks crazy. It's like the face of a demon maybe. It's quite cool. Actually, I'm going to go F4. That's cool. Look, I think these are really cool. The detailed sort of lion things on the roof. We'll try and get a picture of it. The cool roof in the background as well. Something like that. Some very interesting products here in the souvenir shop. I just wanted to show off the banana. Also, I don't know what this is, but it's hilarious to me. I love this guy. Okay, we have arrived at the Nara Deer Park. Let me make sure the deer don't start gnawing on my camera bag. George has got herself a pack of crackers, bowing respectfully to the deer. And I'll try and get some action shots of you feeding these wonderful creatures. Alright, POV deer feeding. Let's go feed this guy. Hey mate, how's it going? Yeah, thanks for bowing. Here you go some. Alright, you look hungry? Oh, you came out of nowhere, mate. There we go. Respectful exchange. What happened to the horns? Did they get clipped?
They don't want them to be aggressive or something.
Oh, of course, yeah, because they'll headbutt you, won't they? Alright, here, you get one more. They like proper headbutt.
I think it's quite nice.
Oh my god.
Jimmy!
I've never really done much animal photography. Let me get up close to one of them in in that enclosed area. Maybe I can get a portrait of one of them. Which one of you is the most aesthetic? This guy's kind of chilling. F2.8 maybe? Get a bit of bokeh going. Nice. Big temple ahead. Let's go in and have a look what we can find. Kind of difficult to isolate subjects here because of how crowded it is. However, this woman definitely stands out. It's like a high contrast image, but there's a lot of noise around her, so I'm not sure how I can isolate it. It's really good sort of weather conditions because it's so sunny, so a lot of things are quite contrasty. How cool are these? They're so big and so mind-blowingly detailed. That is wild. Even like the paintbrush. I like how the light's hitting it actually. That looks kind of cool. This is the Nyo Irin Canon. Some kind of figure in Buddhism, I suppose. Getting our stamp book signed. That is incredible calligraphy. Look at that. Very vibrant hat. You can instantly tell that he's the leader of that group. The light's hitting him really nicely as well. A lot of people though. Difficult to compose. Yeah, generally I struggle a bit at places like this to take pictures. Just because there's so much noise, there's so many tourists. Wherever I can, I try to block off people and crowds using foreground and framing and so on, but it's not always possible. Look at that. This is the finished product. We have just come out of the Vasara kimono rental. Give us a little spin. Amazing. And this is me. Ta-da! Fresh fit. Yeah, I got my actual trainers on, unfortunately, because my feet are too massive for them to find slippers for me. But pretty happy. I went with the blue. Georgia's got a lovely pink on with the red umbrella. Now we're going to walk around and explore Kanazawa and try and get some cool looking shots. Hey, let's get started. We have rented kimonos for ourselves. Got our fresh fits. Hey. And we are in Kanazawa's Castle Park, and we're going to walk around Kanazawa today, try and get some cool photos with our fresh outfits. I'm going to put you on my chest now and get started. It's quite funny, I've got a very traditional looking Japanese outfit on, but equally got my camera backpack with me, a GoPro on my chest, and my SLR camera in my hands. But we'll make it work. Oh my god, I like this already. I'm going to back up a little bit, and I would like you to look at an imaginary object over here. Go a bit lower, so she's at the same level as the castle. Okay, let me go vertical. Ooh, that looks cool, that looks cool. Yes. Loving the umbrella. Okay, yeah. That way. Hold. Alright, let's get some detail shots. Actually, put the umbrella on your other shoulder, because you got a bigger flower on your left hand side. Yeah. And look at that thing over there. Rotate. I was gonna take some detail shots of the hair. Ooh, okay. That's nice. I like that. And then the ribbon. Thanks. You're gonna get a lot of attention today, Georgia. Okay, do you want to stand a little more sideways? And I'll try to take a picture of that ribbon. I'll rotate you a little bit like this. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. Okay, we're gonna walk to the bridge now, see if we can get some cool shots over there. I even like these just from the back. Very cool outfit. Yeah, if you just walk across, let me see if that works out at all. You can use this to block out some of the noise. Yeah, just hold that for a bit until the background clears up. And look at me, look that way, standard stuff. And yeah, I'm going to use this to try and block out. So obviously there's a lot of other people walking around. Can't be too selfish at these locations. All right, let me show you.
Let me not lose my bag, it's got my passport and everything.
I'll grab it, hold on. Yeah, both of us have very limited mobility. Even squatting down, let me show you. It's very difficult. And we can only take little steps at a time.
1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Hey,
Thanks.
Enjoy.
Thanks, you too. Turning into a tourist attraction, Dave. Stunning. I like the wooden backdrop actually. Literally every corner that we turn, we find like a new cool setting in this castle. Psst. Hey, enjoying the video? Pretty good pictures, right? You wanna know a secret? I edited all of these pictures in less than half an hour. How did I do it? Presets. If you want to stop watching hours and hours of Lightroom editing tutorials or aimlessly playing around with the sliders in Lightroom, there is a great editing shortcut called Presets, which will let you get edits like these at the click of a few buttons. If you want to check them out, they're pretty cheap. I've packaged them up into different sets for different styles of photography, and they're all available on my website. So if you're curious and you want to check out my presets or support the channel, check out my website. The link is in the description below. We're inside the castle now, doing a little sightseeing. Just taking some shots outside of the window. Quite like this, using the window to frame it. With these kind of shots, I always play around with, stepping back and zooming in a bit more, because it does drastically change the perspective. I'll show you a quick example. This is zoomed out, step back and zooming in. and I'm still using the window as framing, all of a sudden the background becomes much larger and seems closer to us than it is, which is a neat little trick. And I think they call it background compression in photography. Very good to know. We are now in Kenrokuen Garden, which is one of the best, most beautiful gardens here in Japan. Yeah, I reckon stand on those stones and I will stay here and try and get a shot. Oh yes, that's cool. Cherry blossoms aren't that aggressive, but it actually looks quite well. Oh yeah, yeah. You know that shot where you kind of look up at the trees kind of vibe? Do that, even though there's nothing to look at. Oh, that's majestic. Also, cherry blossoms look better than I thought, even though they're not fully blooming. Let me take one like this. That's good. And then I'm gonna see if I can shoot through this at all. That's too ambitious, the framing? Oh no, it works actually. Okay. Because the umbrella's always behind your head, maybe try some of the other ones. In front, to the side. Yeah, that's good. A bit lower, the umbrella. And then look that way. That's nice. Cool. Moving on. I'm also just going to take a close-up with one of these flowers. Yeah.
I think they look quite pretty.
Ooh, look at this.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. I like these ones a bit more because they're more pink, which go with George's kimono. Yeah, try and get as close as you can, despite there being a bush. Can you get any closer? You might have to pull it very gently without damaging the tree, obviously. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. Now look up into that. All right. First day in Kyoto, we have arrived at Arashiyama, which is the part of Kyoto that has the famous bamboo forest. As you can see, it is a very, very popular tourist destination. Lots of layers with all the branches in the foreground and background. Quite like that actually. And bring out the reds a bit in the edit. Boom. I like the look of that. What would you call that actually? Some kind of stone ornament, I guess. This one's quite cute. It's just sitting on a mountain of moss. Let me try and remove the people a bit more. That's always the tricky thing when you're at a really, really touristy place. It's trying to get rid of all the people in the background. Got ourselves a nice little natural frame here. That lovely roof. I like how it's just poking out in between these two trees. It's almost as if it was made for me to take a picture of. Let me step back a little bit, go a bit lower down, zoom in more. There we go. Got some bamboo action here. Let me see how I can frame this, because obviously there's a lot of people on the floor. I'll try to zoom in a certain way to remove the crowd as much as I can. I'm trying to zoom in as much as I can, because the more you zoom in, the more things get compressed and it makes things look a bit busier than they are. Yeah, I like how dense everything looks. It's super, just visually interesting. There's one rogue dead bamboo that is lying diagonally across. Because it's dead, it's like a distinct different color compared to everything else around it. It's quite interesting. Stumbled across a little, what do you call this? Rock stacking Zen garden type thing. I like this one. Ooh, very harsh sunlight though. Lots of people chilling here by the water, looking at the bridge, river in the background. We just got ourselves some traditional Japanese sweets as well. Maybe we can get some photos of them. Okay, do you want one of you holding it? Oh, that's really good. I like that. That's beautiful. Stay like that. Take one like this. Closer to your face. Just waiting for the bus back to Kyoto. Seeing some People sat on that bench in a kimono, which looks pretty cool. We'll wait for that car to move and try and snap a shot. I took one earlier of these 3 people before the GoPro started recording, but I was recording, so I don't know if that counts. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for that car to move and hopefully grab a shot. It's so hard with all the cars. It's too many people. I'll just use the shot I got earlier. Alrighty. It is nighttime. I'm having a little post-dinner stroll through the Gion district in Kyoto. I think there's a lot of sort of shrines, temples, those kinds of buildings here. I'm expecting a lot of like nice lights at night, a lot of nice sort of lantern stuff, buildings like this one. So let's have a stroll around and see what we can find. It's really refreshing taking photos of sort of Asian architecture, just because, you know, a lot of these shapes, buildings, and the sort of techniques that they use to build these things, you don't commonly see in Europe outside of like, you know, Chinatown or whatever. So it's really cool to just be surrounded by this style of architecture. So you can't really tell it's a temple because the lanterns are so bright, but the lanterns themselves look really cool. I like the writing, the calligraphy on them. So maybe I can isolate that as like a subject for a shot. Let's get a bit closer then. They're kind of neatly arranged, so maybe I can get a zoomed in, similar to the texture shot that I always get. That's very pleasing to the eye. I like the contrast between the regular arrangements of the lanterns, but obviously the writing on each of them is different, so that creates like a bit of a contrast. Okay, something like that looks cool. Stand in the middle, something like this. I really like the vibrant color of her jacket. That really stands out. That's just like the kit of that drugstore. What's that? 202. Did I get the picture that I wanted? I'm not even sure. Hopefully one of them is good. We're now in the ancient district of Gion, and you can already see by the look of these alleyways that it's the more historic part of the city. Ooh, that's a nice subject coming up. It's actually a shame. They just announced that they're going to stop letting tourists into certain parts of the Gion district. Because of the recent explosion of tourism in Japan, I think there's been quite a few, you know, cultural misunderstandings, if you want to say it nicely. If you want to say it badly, just tourists being dickheads in Japan, which have resulted in them just putting a blanket ban on certain areas, which is a massive shame. An action shot here. I love the look of the umbrella as well. That's quite cool. Definitely want to do one of these kimono shoots myself. Maybe get Georgia dressed up.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of respect for people who do that for a living. They're carrying overweight tourists all day. Must be a good workout at least. Get an action shot of one of those rickshaw riders trying to pitch to a group of Asian tourists. Do you know what? Because I have limited reaction time, I'm going to go into aperture priority, which I don't normally do. I'm usually more of a manual only kind of guy. Yeah, it's really tricky taking sort of street photography in settings like this, but it's also a good kind of exercise in A, speed, B, composition, like on the fly, and just like spotting things in a sea of, you know, sensory overload. It's good. I like the lights here. See? Ooh, that's a cool shot. So what we're looking at here, I think it's the Kiyomizu-dera shrine / temple. I'm a little unsure what the difference is. I should honestly read up on this. Well, I've been using shrine and temple interchangeably, which probably isn't a good thing. Love the color scheme of these buildings. Really cool. The mountain in the background looks really good as well. I like that as a backdrop. Grab a shot here. I love the red. I can't wait to play around with that in the edit. Even without editing, it's already like quite poppy. Whoa.
It's so detailed.
The way they carved it is super nice. Let me get a temple in the background. Focus on the dragon. Maybe portrait style, go f2.8. Nice. It is a rainy morning here in Kyoto. We were hoping to visit the Fushimi Inari Taisha, and you know, the weather report told us that it was going to be just cloudy but mostly dry today. So we planned the morning around this, but sadly we got catfished by the weather app because It's going to be moderate to heavy rain for the entirety of this morning, but that's not going to stop us. We're going to head in now and hopefully get some cool snaps still, despite the rain, of the sort of repeated red torii gates that Japan is famous for. We're in the tunnel. It's quite funny, the umbrellas take up a lot of space, definitely causing a bit of congestion, but I can already see some good content coming up. So when you look back, you actually see that there's loads of writing inscribed onto these gates. And what the writing says, it's basically names of people or companies that have donated money for you to be able to get a gate here. Expectation v reality. It's cool though, it looks nice. The gates, the color of the gates is so vibrant. I look forward to editing these already. Maybe I can get some detailed shots like this one. Good spot actually, nice one. I like that, the look of that gate, because there's a bit of foliage, like a couple of leaves. I can use the gate on my left here as foreground. The way the light's hitting these wooden beams is quite satisfying because it creates this like nice bright shimmer on the right hand side. Maybe I'll take a detail shot of those gates with the city in the background. We're quite high up now at this point, near the mountain top. Definitely gonna hit that with a bit of dehaze in the background because you can't actually see much of the city at all. So hazy. Found a slightly more secluded spot here because we low-key got lost trying to find the top of the mountain, but as a bonus it is quite empty. There's not a lot of tourists here, so let's try and get some shots before we move on. I like this fox statue, it looks kind of cool. Can I get the torii gate in the background? Yes, I can. Let me try and frame that fox a bit better. I'm going to use these two and shoot through them. I really like the red scarf that it's wearing. A bit low down. Nice. Okay, let's get some shots of myself, eh? Time to get in front of the camera. We found a nice little tunnel here, really high up the mountain, so there's a lot less tourists. That's nice, I really like that. Maybe horizontally as well. Yeah, landscape is good. I'm going to be in front of the camera for once, which I'm not very used to. I'll put you here and you can see me looking awkward trying to pose. That's so cool. I really like that. Let me grab a quick photo. I love these little capes that they're wearing. I'm not sure what they're for, but they look aesthetic. That's kind of cool. There's a fire nearby, creating a bit of smoke, which makes everything look quite dreamy. I like this scene. I'm gonna wait for it to be empty and snap a quick shot. Yeah, the smoke kind of acts like a bit of a diffusion filter. I think we're very close to the top now. Let's look at this. That's really nice. Nice leading line into the distance. I can see some potential framing opportunities here with all of these gates. Tap to focus on that fox.